What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block for December 19th, 2017. Sorry we're a little bit late, but it's okay. Better late than ever, I guess. Right? Right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, that retro code, Edward Varnell.
Well, you're gaming on Nintendo. You gotta have some nachos and cheese. Yes. Hello, everybody.
Wait, what? Ed, you're saying a lot of weird things today. I don't understand.
What?
I don't get it.
Why? What you mean?
I don't understand.
Well, you're gaming with your Nintendo. You need to have some nachos and cheese.
I don't understand. That's clearly not the weirdest thing you've said today, but it's okay.
Are you talking about our little conversation
we're
earlier?
not talking about it. Oh, this is Nintendo Pow Block Game of the Year discussion episode. I'm very excited.
Yes.
There will be full spoilers for all games related to our discussion. So if you haven't played Zelda or Mario or Mighty Gunvolt Burst or Snake Pass or whatever other game that came out this year on Switch or 3DS or even the Wii U, turn it off now and listen to it after you've played it. But this is our Game of the Year discussion. There will be full spoilers, including the awesome ending at the end of Super Mario Odyssey. So, you've been warned. You have been warned. So, but before we get into all that, Ed, what have you been playing this weekend?
Played Assassin's Creed Origin. Also played a game called Sleep. It was developed and published by the Human Body. You can play it on any console, the bed, the couch, in your car. Because I slept a lot this weekend. I was just so overtired from work. But when I finally got energy into me, I played The Mummy Demastered on Switch. It's Contra and Mega Man thrown together. I'm about to have some good fun with this. It is going to get a little bit difficult because it's a way forward game, of course. But I really am enjoying that game. I did download the Lost Sphere demo and Nine Parchments demo. So I'm going to give those games a try. And the Stern 3D Pinball, and there was another pinball game that you could download the demo for, and they got 3 tables that you could play. So I'll be playing a little bit more of that, or starting to try it out. Picked up Mages of Mysteria for PlayStation 4 and another game for PlayStation 4. And then started playing Final Fantasy 12, Zodiac Age. It was just getting further into that game. And one thing about it is that the game continues to play even if you hit the PlayStation Home button. And I thought I had paused the game and found out that I didn't pause it. So I walked in, seeing the cutscene and then seeing the boss, and hit pause because I had to go to the bathroom. The whole thing. When I came back, we had won the battle. I was only in there for 30 seconds. So I must have literally been overpowered. And plus I had it on turbo, so we had killed the boss that quick. And then went on with the cutscene and I stopped there. And Yokai Watch Freshly Souls on 2DS that I've been playing. And that's pretty much it. That's all I've been playing. I've been trying to, because I want to start getting to the other games for NGR Radio's Game of the Year discussion. So I just got to start some of those games and get some impressions about that. And then I'll be ready for the discussion. But overall than that's what I've been playing.
Nice. I haven't really been playing much either. I've been working all weekend, and when I'm not working, I'm laying down. I'm trying to sleep and do whatever. But I have played a bunch of the Legend of Zelda Champions Ballad DLC. And so far, honestly, I'm a little underwhelmed by the DLC so far. I've done about half of the main quests, and I've done all of like the side quests searching for the armor and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's more Zelda, which is like awesome, but there's not really a major story to it like they kind of promised. I mean, there's cutscenes and stuff, and gives a little background on the champions and stuff, but it's not
Yeah.
like it doesn't really do anything
Embellish the
that
story.
yeah, it doesn't really do anything that the game didn't already do. And so like it's a little underwhelming, but I'm enjoying it. It's the shrines are probably the best shrines in the whole game, though. Like
How many were there?
I've done 6. I think there's 12. Um because there's the 4 that you do before you unlock the Champions Ballad stuff.
Mhm.
And then there's the 4 that you unlock during, and then I think there's 4 more that you need to do before you unlock the last Divine Beast. So, and then it also gives you a nice round, either around 30 hearts. You'll get your full 30 hearts or your full 3 stamina meters. So, but the shrines that they've given that I've played are some of the best that the game has to offer. I mean, obviously I've put a ton of time into Zelda. I've found all the Korok seeds. I've done all the shrines and stuff.
Mhm.
And these ones are some of the most interesting and some of the best puzzles they've designed for this game. But the story content is a little underwhelming, and like I'm a little sad because you unlock the master cycle after you beat the after you beat the expansion,
Yeah.
but I don't have any reason to use it because I've beaten everything. I think somebody who's going in and just got Zelda and just got a Switch and wants this expansion pass. I think this expansion pass is best played probably during your playthrough of Zelda, like your first
Uh,
initial playthrough. Because the story stuff kind of goes along with like it's nothing you haven't really expected, but it helps move the story a little bit. And it would have been nice to have like a natural kind of uh to work this naturally into your playthrough, and like the master cycle helps you get around faster. So after you beat the divine beasts and Ganon and stuff, like after you do all that and want to go through and find the Korok seeds and the shrines and stuff, that would have definitely helped me move around the world faster. So like if you are just getting a Switch and you're just getting Zelda and you're debating on whether or not to get the expansion pass, like I think you're getting a ton of content for $20. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
I was just a little underwhelmed by the story aspect, but it's still a good probably. I've probably played about 4 hours of the DLC, and I'm not even halfway through yet. So it probably adds another, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 hours to the game. So plus the master trials and the other side quests that you get, like the armor pieces and stuff. So there's
Yeah.
there's a ton of content for $20. So I do recommend getting it because the shrines themselves are worth it. I think I just kind of hyped myself up a little bit uh, because I wanted to see more story stuff, and there's not a lot of story there. Um, and I've heard that this Divine Beast on other podcasts and stuff is the best one. So it's the most challenging. It's the most Zelda like dungeon, from like people have expected from previous games. So, uh,
Yeah.
I will have more to report on that probably next week. So I'm going to try to play a lot over Christmas because we're closed. Where I work is closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it, though. I haven't really gotten any farther in Assassin's Creed Origins. I do want to finish that game. I'm
Me too.
Man, dude, I have done so much in that game, and there's still so much I haven't done. And I kind of just want to finish the story and then do the side stuff afterwards. But
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to get to, uh, like if the main mission is orange, because I'm not that high level, then I'll go do some side missions to level up, and then when I get it, I'll start doing more of the story.
yeah,
But
yeah, and like it's weird playing Assassin's Creed and then going to Zelda because I keep pressing R1 on the PlayStation or on the Switch controller to
yeah,
swing my sword, and it's not that. It is not that. It's so I think taking a little bit of time off from Assassin's Creed and playing Zelda is probably the
quick
best thing.
quick question: do you hold your R1 when you're attacking?
No.
Oh no, RB, because we're playing it on. I'm playing it on Xbox
Yeah, I'm
One.
playing on Xbox One also. I'm so used to R1.
Because like holding it, they do like an auto attack with the for the light attacks. Because I got the push move also,
Oh.
so it'll like hit them and then automatically push them when I hold it.
Oh. I don't know if I've unlocked that yet. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know how your skill tree is looking. I got a lot of my warrior part unlocked.
Yeah, a lot of my
Uh,
warrior parts unlocked, but the other two are kind of like I'm making my way through the hunting one now because that's where you get all the like the bow attributes and stuff.
yeah, that's
Uh,
the left side, right? I
yeah,
think. Yeah,
yeah, and I
I've been working on that.
and I just learned the taming ability, so I can tame a lion now, and it follows me. It's fun.
And then you killed it, and then took its material.
I did not kill it. I jumped down a cliff and it followed me. Okay, it killed itself, and I'm not just gonna waste what it left me, so I took it. I just wanted to, just saying. So, but before all that, that's kind of all I've been playing. But before we get into our game of the year stuff, I just want to start mentioning, uh, I think Friday's show we're gonna do a test stream on the NGR Radio Twitch page, so twitch.tv/NGR Radio.
Yes.
So Thursday, we'll tweet it out and stuff. We're gonna start doing streaming the shows, and the weeks leading up to the new year, we're gonna try to iron out all the kinks and stuff so we can be ready for 2018 launch for that. So if you want to head over to twitch.tv/NGR Radio, you can go over there and follow us.
Follow.
And I'll put the link in the description and stuff because I have a whole copy paste thing for the links and stuff now. So yeah, I did all that work this week. Also, if you go over to our YouTube page, the Nerds Gone Rogue YouTube page, you will notice that under each of our main shows, there are a few new categories that we're going to start providing more content for Arsenal X and Pow Block and NGR Radio and Nerds Gone Platinum. And yeah, man, if you go over there, you'll see what's coming. We've got Expansion Pass and Expansion Pack for Arsenal X and Pow Block. We've got Pow Block's Pod and Play, which is a series Ed and I used to do called Let's Pod and Play. We haven't finished that first season, but Pod and Play is going to be a Nintendo focused thing now, where Ed and I just kind of talk about Nintendo games while we play them. And then Arsenal X is getting a similar co-op gameplay called Arsenal X Squad Goals. And so that's where Ed, Jesse, and I, or a combination of us or friends, play games together. Like Sea of Thieves is kind of like the big game that we're kind of eyeing right now for that. So Sea of Thieves, maybe Rainbow Six, maybe The Division, maybe Destiny, maybe, basically games that require a bunch of co-op, maybe Gears, maybe Halo. So pretty pumped for that stuff because, we've been talking about doing stuff for a while now, and I finally have it all set up. Got my streaming stuff set up over here. It's going to be a good time, Ed. It's going to be a good time. Also, if you're watching the video versions of the shows, not this show, but starting the next show, we're going to have cool new backgrounds and stuff. So, Ed, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for all this stuff. every time I sit down and play a game, I'm going to try to just record it and try to throw it up somewhere. NGR
Yeah.
Radio Plays is basic Let's Plays of us just kind of messing around with different games. Let's Play 20 Questions for NGR Radio is starting next week, so pretty excited.
Is that gonna be its own separate show?
It's not going to be its own separate show, but it's going to be its own separate breakout.
Breakout. Okay.
So, and then NGR Radio B-Sides is a similar show to what, we're doing with Expansion Pack for Pow Block. So, nobody liked our block party idea, Ed. So,
we did put it up for a vote, though.
We did.
So,
thank
did. You, listeners.
We did.
And thank you, fans.
Yeah. And then also, one last thing. NGR Spoiled is a new YouTube series, and I don't know if I'm going to do a podcast yet or not. I might set it up as a podcast. NGR Spoiled is our spoiler cast playlist on YouTube, and our first episode just went up last week for Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. So if you've played through that game and want to listen to a bunch of weirdos talk about that game, and by weirdos I mean Matt, Jason, and Jeff.
Yes.
And by weirdos I mean my friends. So with that said, you should go subscribe to our YouTube page to check out all that content. And yeah, dude, I'm so excited for this new content, especially the Pow Block stuff. I've also got it set up to where we're gonna when we react to the Nintendo Directs and stuff. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that supposed January Direct. It's gonna be kind of our big reaction.
Yes.
So, man, I'm so excited for a lot of things. But
a lot of stuff is coming.
I'm also excited for Game of the Year discussion. So, yes. Which is what we're gonna do.
Me and Corey, we made lists, our top 5, and we got some other categories, but we are so excited to find out what we put on each other's list. And we probably have been thinking about the games, probably switching them up, probably looking at some and, digging up our conversations about past games and stuff. We put time and effort into this. And it's so hard making a list because you want to make sure that you get it right, but also be able to really appreciate, well, is that person gay on that list that's on my list? Are we the same number? If we're not the same number, why is it lower or why is it higher? Creating that discussion is always fun and very educational and interesting to see. And definitely because this is Nintendo, they had a strong year. I kind of would say from January to December. Definitely with the release of Switch, definitely with some E3, with announcements every week coming out from third party and indies. Some of the ports that we played, some of the indie games getting a physical release, and people just continue to talk about these great games that came out for Nintendo's platforms. So, Corey, are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, I am. I just keep thinking about games and just everything that I played on Switch this year in particular. And I feel bad because there's a lot of 3DS games I didn't get to.
Me too.
Because, dude, once the Switch came out, my 3DS and Vita and even the Wii U gamepad kind of game stuff, that all went by the wayside because the Switch is such a quality console that I wanted to spend all my time with.
And to think about it with me, definitely with me with the 3DS, I bought the games, but they're just still in the thing waiting to be played because there's just so much greatness on Switch.
I know. The other day, I finally sat down to earlier this year, I started Fire Emblem Echoes, right? And
yeah, me too.
I cannot believe that game came out this year. But I sat down to play Fire Emblem Echoes, and I just couldn't play it earlier because I was like, this isn't on Switch. I want to play my Switch. So I went back to Zelda, and I sat down the other day. I was like, dude, Fire Emblem Echoes is so good. and like I've only played about 3 hours of it, but like
Mhm.
that game is really good, and like I haven't touched Ever Oasis yet. I haven't touched uh Metroid Samus Returns yet. Like I haven't touched Pokemon yet. Like there's so many 3DS games that I just didn't touch because of Switch, and that's like
And that's why I feel like definitely for me, I made a top five 3DS. And whether I played them or not, or people will see these as much as recommendations, they were some strong 3DS titles, and it just happens that Switch took over because of the success, and people are just so eager to play in it and loving it.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so where should we start though?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. You want to
You know,
I want to start no, I want to start with best moment
yes,
because that is a and this is where we're starting to get into spoiler territory. So like there are a lot of moments in Switch games this year that like my number 5 is like remember when I was texting you with when I was playing with my wife in Mario Kart and she was in first place. And like
yeah,
this isn't like a moment in the game like in its intense story or anything, but like
uh,
she was in first place for the first time like ever in Mario Kart, and like I was kind of trolling her a little bit, and I had the 3 red shells, and I come up behind her and hit her with 2 red shells, and she just starts like cussing me out and calling me names and stuff, and I'm like, that's a funny moment for like even for Wii U owners, like that is a funny moment, and that's like
yes,
Mario Kart provides so many moments like that I just want to kind of like give Mario Kart a shout out. And then I know like it's not like an underrated game or anything or like an unknown name. Mario Kart's huge, but like the moments that you have playing with people in Mario Kart is just those are some of the best moments, and you sometimes you forget that because Nintendo's provided so many big single player experiences this year that it's
uh,
like, oh yeah, I forgot Mario Kart is there, and like, oh man, look how many people played Mario Kart, and like stuff like that. So that's, I mean, well, if we're starting with best moment. I have 5 best moments this year. 2 of them are kind of dumb, but 3 of them are pretty cool. So that was my number 5 moment.
okay.
Do you want to flip flop, or do you want me just to run down my moments?
Go ahead, run down your moments.
Okay, number 4 uh, was the first and only time I played 1-2 Switch. Where like okay, yeah, that game is really, really stupid. But when you start like hanging out with people and they don't really play games, but they're like drinking and having a good time, and then you guys start drinking and having a good time, and then my wife has a beer too, and then I end up eating a ton and having a beer too, and we're sitting there not like obnoxiously drunk, but a little tipsy, and like you're sitting there, and the cow mini games comes around where you're milking the cow, and you just start laughing because of how stupid and ridiculous it is. But then you get like real into it because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Or like when you're like holding the Joy Cons and trying to feel how many balls are in the box, or the stupid sandwich eating contest. Like I remember my wife Instagrammed the dumb picture of me trying to eat a fake sandwich. Oh my gosh, I like that was a dumb moment. That was like that was such a dumb moment, dude. That I don't know. 1-2 Switch had some, we'll call them unforgettable moments when we were playing it. But like honestly, since then I haven't played it because there's been so many other great games, and that game's real dumb. But so this is where I'm going to get into my serious moments. We've talked a lot about Mario Odyssey lately,
Yes.
and there are, for me, like I haven't played as much as that game as I thought I was going to. But there were 2 moments for me that really stuck out for that game. The when you get to full spoilers again, full spoilers. So for me, when you finally kind of get to the end of New Donk City,
Yeah.
and the Donkey Kong, the original Donkey Kong arcade style thing pops up,
Yeah.
is probably the coolest moment in that game until you beat it. It's like you go into the pipe and it gets all 2D and stuff, and
Yes.
you're kind of playing fake Donkey Kong and making your way up to the top. And once you get up there, the band is playing and everything. It's just
Yeah, Paulina singing
the
the
song.
song.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's so weird because everything fits. It's like you're not your it's not that you're forced to go through it, but it is only one way to get to the ending, and it's just like every step and every jump you make while Paulina sing it just makes so much sense.
hmm yeah. It's man that is like that is pretty close to my moment of the year, except for two other moments happened, and so my second moment is when you finally beat the see credits roll for the first time in Mario Odyssey, and you land in the Mushroom Kingdom, and the fact that they like you walk in to the castle and it's just how you remember it. You go to the left and there's the door, and you jump into the paintings, and instead of
Yes.
the N64 levels, they're just like repeat boss fights. They're just a little bit harder and stuff, but still, like the fact that you can go into the doors and the paintings are there, and you just kind of like you can jump into the paintings, and the fact that they changed all the moons to the stars for Mario
And
64.
I don't know if you don't want this, but I kind of want Mario 64 to be remade using the Odyssey graphics. I was just having so much fun
Yeah,
in that land, and I was just like, man, if Nintendo, if y'all remade this in this graphics, I wouldn't even be mad. I just want to play. I would just want to play it. And I think my opinion would be okay. This is still a perfect 10, whether they fix or didn't fix anything. This game would still be a perfect 10. Like it's an all time classic
yeah,
for me.
yeah. I mean, Mario 64 is like my favorite Mario game. So, if they remade that for Switch, I'd be like, oh my gosh, game of the year. But, uh, so yeah, like that, just the attention to detail and just running around the world and everything, seeing everything. It's cool. It's awesome.
Mhm.
Plus, like Yoshi's waiting for you on top of the castle, and
Yes.
like there's a Yoshi egg, and you can capture Yoshi and become Yoshi, and you need Yoshi to access certain areas of the map. It's just really cool, man. There was a lot of cool things that I it was just awesome. So, but my number one moment, and this was a moment that kind of like it's real small, and it's just kind of one of the like as you're playing Breath of the Wild and you're going through and searching for all the memories and stuff. The memory that like I really loved the most was probably the strongest story moment in the game, where like Zelda is taking Link back to the Shrine of Resurrection. And then, you kind of see this story moment play out. And then you see her with the Master Sword, kind of, she's so broken and beaten. And so is the Master Sword. And like, you just witness this whole story moment of her putting the Master Sword back in its,
Slot.
yeah. And that was just like, that whole cutscene was just like one of the best things I think I watched all year. Uh, Zelda Breath of the Wild is a special game in the way that it delivers these little story moments and the way you can piece them together and the way you
Hmm.
traverse throughout the world, and you can see like hints of a lived in world, and you can see hints of worlds that came before. Like, you see Lon Lon Ranch from Ocarina of Time. You see the temple from Twilight Princess. You see a lot of these things. You see the one of the temples from Skyward Sword. Even like you see a lot of these things, and even from the 2D Zelda games, you see things, and it's like the attention to detail and the care that went into this game, and everything is placed for a reason and placed somewhere where you wonder what happened here, and you wonder like how did this world get from Lon Lon Ranch, a fully functioning ranch on N64? how does it get like this? Or, how did this temple from Skyward Sword fall apart? Like, it makes you wonder, and it's telling a story without really telling a story. And it's just, man, it's Breath of the Wild. It's, I mean,
We'll get more into it.
I mean,
Definitely
look,
we'll get more into it.
yeah, I'll save my comments for them. But those were like my top 5 moments of the year for Nintendo stuff, man. It's just, wow, what a great year.
Okay. Well, my top 5 moments for Nintendo. My number 5 is definitely E3. Just seeing the games that was coming out and them just announcing Metroid Prime, and then me and Corey are doing live conversation and watching this like whoa, okay, y'all do. There's something playing on the screen, and we're like, okay, what's this? And it's Samus shooting in 2D. Wait, what's going on? Metroid Samus Return, the remake of Metroid 2, is going on. I'm like, oh wait, when did they drop this announcement? In play, like people were playing it. They were playing it during their live stream. That was crazy to get 2 Metroid games announced, and one of them came out, which we'll definitely talk about later. And I, with the sushi game and stuff, like I was super happy at Nintendo's approach to E3 and their presentation. That was just the moment of that whole presentation, and even talking to you, Corey, during it, was just amazing. It was just so fun. And definitely with 2018 coming up, I cannot wait for their E3 presentation for it.
Oh my gosh, man, 2018 is gonna be so big, and like, spoilers, that's our first expansion pack episode is 2018 Switch, because like, yeah, Nintendo had a lot of games come out this year, but Ed, that list I sent you was like almost 70 games long just for 2018, and that's not that list like in 2018, because we know Metroid Prime 4 is not coming next year, and
yes,
Pokemon has a possibility to slip into 2019, so it's like, whoa. And we'll go into that in our expansion pack, so you should check it out on our YouTube page. Probably New Year's Day, I think that episode's going up. So, but man, dude,
that list is, and the funny thing is that list is growing because, like I said, we haven't even finished 2018. We still pretty much got 2 more whole weeks of this year. Stuff can be announced on Christmas Day unexpectedly. Like today, Mutant Mudds is getting Shovel Knight in there, and you could play the whole game as Shovel Knight. That's crazy,
dude. I mean, that, like, I have all the Mutant Mud games on 3DS, and then I have Mutant Mudds Challenge on Wii U, and I was like, do I really need to buy this again? I don't know, because like I like the Mutant Mudds games, and I would love to have it like on the Switch, but at the same time, I already bought those games and I didn't finish any of them. But like, dude, having Shovel Knight and being able to play through Shovel Knight through the whole game, I'm like, sold. I'm sorry. Like, that NVC did a really cool interview with that guy.
Yeah.
I forget what his name is. I'm sorry, but like, you should go check out Nintendo Voice Chat for that cool interview. But like, man, like, I like Mutant Mudds enough, but the fact that I get to play Shovel Knight, my favorite indie game of like probably all time, honestly, like, there's a few I haven't played, but as of right now, like, dude, sold me. Honestly, sold me. I'm sold.
Just sold. Okay, so my number 4 is Nintendo announcing Super Mario cereal, and it's an amiibo. Like, that was weird out of nowhere. And I couldn't find it, everybody. And I went to my nearest Target. They didn't have it. And then to announce that the Target's not going to carry it anymore. And it's just like, and I don't know how it tastes. Nobody reported or anything. But
Game Informer did a taste test episode, and they said it tastes like Fruity Pebbles mixed with Lucky Charms.
Ooh, that's good.
I'm like, dude, you have the cereal that tastes like Fruity Pebbles, and then you add the marshmallows in from Lucky Charms. That's just like somebody's gonna go into a diabetic coma
Yeah,
and just be like, yep.
sugary.
Ugh.
So, did they test the box out to see what it does or anything?
Yeah, it's just a generic amiibo. It doesn't really it does everything that all the amiibo, like in Mario Odyssey, it does whatever all the other amiibos do except for besides Mario, Peach, and Bowser. Like whatever all the
Okay,
other ones do, it does that. So,
okay.
I mean, that's the only game they tested it on, but
I would love to see that as a download free download for Smash. You could be the you can play as
just the cereal
Mario.
box.
Yeah, that's a character, or you could just smack people with the cereal box. Like, think of getting like smashed with the cereal box. Like like Mario swings it and you just get hit to the background, or you just see that little. I still love that, Smash when you hit them out in the diagonal mode, just out. Something about that just seems so funny to me.
Jeez.
But yeah, I would love to see if they would add that to Smash as for DLC if it comes to Switch. Um,
Dude, if it
my
comes to Switch, there's no way Smash is not coming to Switch. There's no way. They're going to end the January Direct. I'm calling it right now. They're going to end it with just the Smash sound and like a 10-second cutscene of Mario, Link, and like characters fighting each other, and that's it.
Corey,
Nope. Nope.
I,
Continue. Nope.
I'm
Nope.
just going to say our reaction episode for that is going to be insane if that happens.
No, dude. Our reaction episode is going to be insane regardless.
Because my number 3 is definitely the Doom and Wolfenstein 2 announcement.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
When I tell you that me and Corey was when we like literally talked to each other, like I met, like Corey has told y'all, I messaged him. I'm like, dude, Dune and Wolfenstein 2 is coming to Switch.
Yeah, dude. Oh, by the way, Panic Button is doing that port too. So
Yeah, I read that on Destructoid, which is good. I'm good, and I'm glad that Doom is still selling. Like, people have been picking it up for the holidays and stuff.
it hasn't sold terrible on Switch. Like one of the sites, like not Nintendo Life, the other one I look at, I forget what it's called. Nintendo Today or whatever. Like they reported that like Doom wasn't selling well, but like it's sold close to 1 million copies so far. And it's like, look, I get it. Like, Switch isn't the best place to be playing Doom, but at the same time, it's the best place to be playing Doom because you can take it with you. So,
And and I think a lot of people have been buying that digitally than they have done physically, because there hasn't been like a lot of physical copies shipped up, because when Doom first came out, there was only like 2 copies in a lot of stores, like 2 to 6 copies, and like pretty much all of those sold. And I give it up to Bethesda that they did restock them quickly, and they just kept selling out. But I think a lot of people bought it digitally for it. I
yeah.
mean, for Doom, it makes sense because of the multiplayer stuff. It's just getting that whole package and stuff. So, but I had to, like you, Corey, I had to have the physical. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I got the physical copy. Everything that for Switch, like, I mean, you know how I am with my lists. But like my Nintendo lists are getting so big, and it's just like, oh,
dude,
man.
I was been looking at my work case, and I was just like, okay, in the front, I got like at the top is all Nintendo games. So I'm just like, okay, I'm missing this game, but I know I'm going to pick it up. The third party, I'm missing this game. Some of the indies that's getting physical, I'm missing that, but I'm going to get it. Like, I'm like you, I'm working on my library to get those games.
Yeah, and like there's a couple games like I really wish would get physical copies and don't have them yet. And like
Yeah,
I think one is Shovel Knight. Like I think after King of Cards comes out, they're gonna announce a special edition, and like the cartridge is gonna have all the games on it.
yeah.
So like I'm waiting for that, and then like the ukulele. I'm so surprised ukulele didn't get a physical copy. Like I'm extremely surprised, just because like PS4 and Xbox One got one. That is a game that a lot of people have been waiting for on Switch.
hmm
Man, like I don't know if I want to drop the money on that game until a physical copy comes out.
I think people are waiting for that physical. They people have been telling Platonic that we will buy a physical because the reviews for it has been great. They were just like, this is the definitive version to play.
Yeah, and like I that day they announced it,
Yes.
like ukulele. Oops. Oh, sorry. I went to their website and it started making all these burp and fart sounds. That's weird. But like I was gonna read some of the comments, but I don't want like burp and fart sounds on our show. So sorry, guys. That wasn't me. Wasn't Edward. That was the ukulele characters. But like every comment, like every single comment, probably like I'm not kidding. Probably like 120 comments on like the first 120 comments were like physical version, physical version. Where's the physical version? Is there a physical version? Do you have plans for a physical version? Every comment on that first page was, "Is there a physical version?" And it's like there's clearly like a demand for that. And like I understand the cartridges from Nintendo probably cost a little bit, but like at the same time, this is the console that game was made for. So like just I don't know, man. It's weird, but like those are the two games that I really wish had physical copies. And like I would buy, dude, I've bought Shovel Knight 6 times. Like I will clearly buy it another time.
Like I have it too. I have it. I don't have it for one or PS4 because I feel like Shovel Knight just belongs to the Nintendo console. So I got the physical for 3DS. I got the digital version for Wii U. Just like you, Corey, I think I'm gonna wait for the physical copy of Shovel Knight to come to Switch, and I would pay $40. I would pay $50 if they did it. Like I'm still waiting for. I cannot wait for the next amiibo for Shovel Knight to come out. That collection, like
Yeah,
that's like pretty much my big next amiibo one.
yeah, and like I don't need amiibo, like I don't really collect amiibo. Like I collect certain ones. Like I have the whole Zelda set, right? And I have almost the whole Super Mario Brothers set because that set looks cool together.
Yes.
But like I didn't get into the Animal Crossing ones. I got the Smash Brothers ones that I wanted, like Pac-Man and Mega Man and Sonic and Charizard. Like I got a bunch of the ones that I wanted, but like those Shovel Knight amiibo, like if I can't get those Shovel Knight amiibo, I'm gonna cry. Like the 3-pack.
You can forget. You forget.
I didn't forget. It was more of a wink wink nudge nudge conversation piece.
You're supposed to wink there because you just stopped in the. Okay, there you go. You just stopped in the middle of the sentence. Was like, now good and well.
So,
which is funny that you mentioned that Pac-Man because yeah, I'm getting that Pac-Man too. That's coming to Switch. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot. Championship Edition is coming to Switch. I forgot.
Oh, that is going to be my game on the go.
Yeah, it's getting a physical copy also. So,
yes,
man, yeah, man. I like I was hesitant on getting that the Namco Museum thing, and like I still might, but I probably won't. But like Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 Plus, and I think it comes with Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, like the original ones. I'm like sold.
I think so. Yeah, because I've seen it on Xbox One, but no one like I didn't even know they had made it for Xbox One. Like there was like no kind of release announcement. But to see that game was coming to Switch, dude, like get this. Mega Man Legacy 2, Mega Man X2, like the collections. Pac-Man Championship Edition. Like these old school kind of games, whether it's gonna have a fresh paint of coat or whatever, like being on a Nintendo console, it's so fitting. Like to me personally, it's just like an ultimate buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just man. Oh, by the way, like the Legacy collections and Mega Man 11 are getting physical copies also.
Yes.
Plus, like
in the Street Fighter 30th anniversary, like me personally, I have to have that.
So I need to ask you a question.
Yes.
Is the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection, is it coming with the game that they already released on Switch?
No,
Is it coming with any version like that game?
no.
Okay, so like,
So
okay,
yeah, because what Ultra is Udon's artwork is in it, and the ones that's coming for on Switch, those are all the arcade versions.
okay,
Because the Udon one was like a redesigned one for PS3 360.
okay,
So
okay. So
yeah.
I was just wondering. Also, by the way, heads up. I know we're like in the middle of our game of the year discussion, and this is probably something we should just discuss on expansion pack. But Bayonetta 3, Bayonetta 1 and 2 collection, and Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus are all up on Amazon for pre-order.
Yes.
So if you want to do that, you may do so. Also, Gear Club Unlimited physical release was slated for January. It's available now on Amazon as well. So if you want a racing game, you can get it early. So
I think I'm gonna pick that one up.
Since they made a deal with Amazon, the Amazon Prime discount still counts. So if you did pre-order it, it's still $39.99 if you have Amazon Prime. So just let you know. Gosh,
guys,
I love
go
sales.
pre-order. Get those guaranteed good sales for those games. Because my number 2 moment, that Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta 1 being announced at the Game Awards, and just Bayonetta all together, my mouth dropped. We've been wanting this announcement. We've been waiting.
I could as much as we talked about Bayonetta 3, right?
Yes.
Like Bayonetta 1 and 2 ports would have been enough, right? And it's like, dude, it's just like, man, they gave us this giant, delicious chocolate cake with Bayonetta 2, and they covered it with this delicious sugary icing for Bayonetta 1.
Yes.
Download code. And then they dropped a hot pan of hot fudge on top of the cake with Bayonetta 3 announcement.
And I was just watching the announcement again and just trying to figure out, I'm like, where can they go with this game? Like, where can they go with this? And I'm super excited. Like, I guess it's one of those show more at E3. Mm-hmm. Drop any time that you guys want to drop any more information at a direct. Shut up and develop the game. Mm-hmm. And then do what you guys, if you guys want to do that 30 limit play or demo like they did for the Wii U for Bayonetta 2, go ahead and do it. Because everybody is going to anticipate that game. Once the demo drop, it's going to hopefully it be longer, like a 2-level demo. Mm-hmm. And people are going to be playing that over and over, trying to best their scores. Like, I would love to have like leaderboard demos, like a leaderboard that for people who are playing demos to have demo scores to see if people could beat it and stuff. I think that would be somewhat cool, a little interesting. But I hopefully we get a Bayonetta 3 demo in the coming years before that game is released.
Yeah, man. Dude, that Bayonetta announcement was awesome. But what's your number one moment, Ed?
Of course, my number one moment.
Buying the Switch.
Nope.
Oh.
It's actually coming to see Corey and us going to go get the Super NES Mini.
Oh, man. I forgot that was this year, too. This year has been so long. This is this is just, in terms of like gaming, like, I mean, I know like the world is falling apart and crumbling around us, but in the world of gaming, like everything is so amazing right now.
Exactly.
It's just like, man, 2017 was a great year for games. Man, and you coming up here, man, that was so much fun. That episode we did together, and like I finally got to like edit like a real show almost together. It was just like, oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome.
I was watching our first recording, and just us getting up, going to Toys R Us to go get the Super NES interest, doing the unboxing, doing some playthroughs, like recording about 8 shows within that time. We get interest, enjoying ourselves. Of course, the food was good. Everybody, Corey is a fantastic cook.
That's not true.
Yes. And me reacting to a certain TV show.
Oh man, dude! Oh my gosh, the last episode we watched was it was good / bad all around.
But yeah, those are my top 5 moments. I do, yeah. That was the Doom and Wolfenstein one. That was my Nintendo Direct moment of the year. Was just that announcement. And honorable mention for announcements. I just want to say, the Nintendo Directs I really like the way that they're doing them. How like they're doing it kind of fast paced and breaking everything down. And like I said on the past show, I like that the indie is kind of separate from like some of the main ones, and they could throw some new indie stuff like updates. I kind of hope to see more of that in 2018.
All right, best third-party game, I think, is where we should go next.
Okay.
All right. This is number 5 to number 1 for me. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Super Bomberman R. Fantastic multiplayer game. Disgaea 5 Complete. It's a great Fire Emblem substitute. Not quite Fire Emblem, but still a great kind of strategy game. NBA 2K18. Man, you want to talk about Doom making a great port. Man, 2K made a great basketball port. That game is great on Switch. I hope you have a big memory card, but that game is just fantastic.
Yeah, I've been here. People still loving it on Switch. Like I think people have problems with it for some other things, but when people mention 2K18, they mention Switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good port. I mean, again, it's not the greatest for like online play or that kind of stuff. And if you're trying to do like the character creator thing, like maybe you should go with a different console. But if you just want a pure basketball experience on the go, NBA 2K is great. And you know what? I would even throw FIFA in there. I'm very upset at EA right now, so I'm trying not to give them any props. But FIFA is also, if you're looking for a great soccer game, FIFA is also, I guess that would be my number 6. Number 2, Doom. Doom is a great port. Doom is a fantastic third-party game again on Switch.
Dude, if your list is literally 85%, that's mine. But go ahead.
Doom is probably like, I don't know how they could have done any better. That game runs like a charm on Switch. I actually sat down and played it the other day for a little bit, and like, man, that game is fun. And like that multiplayer is a great game. Like, I mean, there's a few multiplayer games on Switch that are great, like Splatoon and stuff. But if you're looking for like a Halo type multiplayer experience, Doom's multiplayer is nothing to ignore. That multiplayer is great. Yeah, it runs a little lower resolution than the campaign and stuff, but it's great. It's still great. My number 1 third-party game, and this counts as a third-party game because it is listed as a third-party game, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is my best third-party game. That game is so much better than it has any right to be. The mechanics, the characters, the dumb Rabbids are not as annoying as you would think they would be. Oh, so good.
But the cutscenes are still funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're so funny. Like, the first, like, cutscene when, like, the dumb Luigi Rabbid is... Gosh, he's my favorite. I still want one of those little statues. The Luigi Rabbid is awesome. Like, when he's holding the banana for the first time, and he just kind of holds it up to one of the big monkey-looking rabbits. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. That screenshot of that was my cover photo on my Facebook page for a long time.
Yes.
But those are my favorite third-party games for Switch this year. And like, there's a lot of indie games, but we were doing a best indie game category, so I tried to make third-party more about AAA than I did indie. So
yeah. So everybody, number 5 for me Super Bomberman R also. Like I literally thought like, yes, we started off on the same thing.
Naturally.
Such a great game. Really fun to play. Anyone could play it. Not too hard to learn. Ultra Street Fighter 2 is my number 4. I put this game on because I'm a big Street Fighter fan. Um, I love Udon's art. The game looks good. Even though that first person Hadouken might be broken, it's still a fantastic game to play with friends.
I almost put that on my list too. And I'm not a big Street Fighter guy, although
Hmm.
I've been like really kind of researching fighting games lately and like trying to be kind of sort of invested in some games and like dude, Street Fighter 2 on Switch is no joke. It is amazing. Like, I don't know if it's worth $40 when you can get it for 15 on PS4 and Xbox One, but man, that game is so good. Like, the art is so good, and like the character animations are like flawless. Like like
Yes.
the base fighting mechanics of Street Fighter Ultra Street Fighter 2 on Switch are amazing. And like, I do recommend a pro controller, and I think the Mad Catz fight sticks the Mad Catz fight stick on there works. Yeah, I know. Shut up. I still don't have mine. Work on there, but like, dude, that game is great, and it's just fun to mess around. And I'm like, I've been playing some Street Fighter 2 a little bit, like not enough to talk about or anything. And like, I've been researching like Injustice stuff because Jesse and I want to like get into some Injustice stuff for squad goals. But like,
Yeah.
man, dude. Man, Street Fighter's good, and Injustice is great too. I hope it comes to Switch soon, please.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I still need to get Pocket Fighters. I know you said that it was out, but that's the one I also need to get, even though that's indie. I just like that design. That it looks cool.
Yeah.
Number 3 is FIFA 18. Looking at this game on Corey's like HD TV, I was blown away. And just the way that Corey was playing it, like the game was running smooth. I was just like, this game looks beautiful. Like this game is quite gorgeous. And you know, Corey probably already beat it because you were just winning games left and right and stuff. But it's a good game it's a amazing game on Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played much of it since NBA 2K came out, but man, what a great like soccer title for Switch. Like, yeah, it's missing like 50% of the modes, but it's just good. And like on Amazon right now, it's like $35. So like it's half the price now of the other games. But like if you just want a dumb soccer game to play with your friends and play against each other in like quick mode or whatever, like FIFA's great, man. And like if you only own a Nintendo console and like FIFA 13 was the last FIFA game we got on Wii U, it's worth a pickup. You know, I hesitate to say like buy an EA game, but at the same time, like FIFA's great, and I want people to buy FIFA so EA gets the message that people want games on Switch, and maybe next year we'll get Madden or NHL or golf or something. So
yeah, because NHL would be a perfect thing for sports fans on Switch. My number 2 is Doom. Just same reasons for Corey. And number 1, like Corey's, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This game got laughed at E3 when people didn't believe
it. No, it got laughed at when it got leaked, and then they showed it, and then people were like, "Oh, I get it now." And like that was probably one of the biggest moments too this year. Going back to our previous thing, was like watching that developer like get so emotional about his heroes talking about his game and collaborating with him on his game and making sure like he was like working with his heroes was amazing. Like seeing like that's why Ubisoft to me sticks out more than like EA or Activision, because like they kind of humanize their developers, you know?
Yeah.
And they have a sort of, and I'm not saying that they're not a big corporate giant or anything, because they are. They're a business. They're trying to make quality products, but like they're doing all the right things with their games, and they're not out to just make money. They're out to please their consumers. They're out to
Yes.
do right by their consumers. And this is just an example of them being, for all intents and purposes, the good guy of the major companies. You know, they're the good guy of the major third parties, and it's that was such an amazing moment watching that.
And to hear people play it, just like, okay, this is XCOM, but with Nintendo characters, and everything works. And like the sales of it was like 500,000 copies. Like it had a lot of good sales. I thought it
Yeah,
was kind of high.
it's higher than that, I think now. Like that game, there was an eShop sale for that game where they sold it and you got the expansion pass for free if you bought it digitally.
Oh, that's cool.
So like that was a cool sale, and I think the last one I heard was like 700,000 copies.
Yeah, it's been selling good this holiday. People have been picking it up along with Odyssey and stuff. Like, so kids and stuff will be learning, getting into strategy games and having fun. But yeah, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle just took people by surprise, and it did so good on Switch. Like, I don't see Microsoft or Sony even trying to partner up with Ubisoft to make a strategy game with their characters or something for that platform.
Mm-hmm. I have the sales numbers right here.
Okay.
As of October 28th, so 6 weeks have gone by. It sold 750,000 copies.
Well, that's good.
So it might hit close to 1 million by the end of the year.
Yeah. It's one of recommendations to get for people getting a Switch game, a new Switch. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of, I feel like they kind of did this game to make up for what they did with Rayman Legends. How it was an exclusive for Wii U, but then they brought it out to the other consoles, and when they brought it out, the other consoles got it first, and Wii U got pushed back. So it kind of feels like this was almost like, a makeup for that debacle, I should say.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just kind of like sprinkling news throughout this show as I am kind of like looking it up. Two things: the ARMS comic has officially been announced for Western release, written by Ian Flynn, and the comic book series is debuting on Free Comic Book Day in May. So that comic book will be free that day at your local comic shop. So that's fun. That's awesome. And then a note in the Breath of the Wild art book confirms that that work has already begun on the game's sequel. So, I really hope they do a Dark World version of this with this engine, like with the purples and the reds and the like. Oh man, I can't wait! I cannot wait. But sorry,
that's another episode. Not an expansion pass, but just another episode, because our minds are going to wonder.
I mean, we could do that as an expansion pass, I think.
No, but see, I want it kind of like its own, almost like its own show, because where can Anuma them take this? Story wise, and I know me and you, we've talked about what art style we would like to see it in, but from a story and maybe a gameplay wise, like where do we go? Like, do they
honestly? I would like the same basic setup as Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm. But get rid of the weapon degradation.
You know what? I think you could get rid of weapon degradation and replace it with upgradable weapons. Similar to what Skyward Sword did. Upgradable gear and kind of like make it almost like an RPG style system. Where you're leveling up your weapons and your shields and kind of do the same thing that they did with the armor and clothing sets. You go to a ferry and if you have the right resources, you can upgrade this, and this. And then instead of like the Divine Beasts, which were cool, but I think those are like the weakest dungeons in any Zelda game. I want them to like make traditional Zelda dungeons but incorporate the Breath of the Wild stuff that you get at the beginning, where like, okay, I need to make an ice block here to get up to this platform, and then I need to move this metal door to climb up to the next platform. You know what I mean? Like
the dungeon is all puzzle built upon puzzle.
Yeah,
in a sense.
yeah, like in Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, like those kinds of dungeons. But use the mechanics of the bombs and the ice and the stasis, that kind of stuff. So I think that would be really cool and unique, where like what's old is new again, and they could really do some cool things surrounding that. Not that I didn't enjoy the Divine Beast, but I just I think the mechanic of the map being the puzzle kind of got old after like the second time doing it.
Yeah.
And so, they've shown pieces of that with this new Divine Beast. It is more traditional, where you're working your way from room to room and collecting items to move on to the next room. But at the same time, I would really like to see them go back. I don't want to necessarily have to do them in a certain order, but I think if they went back and just made traditional style dungeons would be awesome.
Yeah. Because I think Nintendo is good at the physics in Breath of the Wild is just super good. Like they let you experiment, and that experiment kind of solve puzzles that you didn't expect it to solve.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that's another episode. I think we could just talk about that. But okay, what's our next? Our next category is going to be best surprise game or best surprise this year. So for me, there's 3 games on my list. Snake Pass was a really cool surprise for me. I didn't know, like, that was one of the first major indie games to get released on Switch besides like the Shovel Knight port and stuff. Snake Pass was really interesting. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was a huge surprise to me. I didn't think I was going to love that game as much as I did. And then, for me, the biggest surprise of the year was ARMS. I still think ARMS is like one of the most underrated and underhyped games for Switch. Like, that game is amazing. And the fact that they released that update where you can customize your controls, you can play the way you want to without sacrificing control is awesome. Oh, so good. I love it. I love ARMS.
ARMS. And then the new patch is coming out with another character.
I know. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's a game that I have to pick up. I keep looking at it just like,
dude, get ARMS.
Get
ARMS. And they added a bunch of new modes, and they have the I forget what they're called, but they're like the Splatfest for Splatoon. The challenges, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, I think the sales went up because it has been like selling out. It became one of those hard games to find. But we literally just got some in, and when I go to get it, they're all gone. So hopefully I get some this weekend, and I'll pick it up.
Yeah,
I have some good sales going on.
ARMS is fantastic. I love ARMS so much.
Oh, and the music to ARMS is so good. Oh, yes.
But the other 2 biggest surprises, and like they're more announcements than games, were the Doom and Wolfenstein announcement was the biggest surprise, and then the fact that we're getting all 3 Bayonetta games on Switch exclusively.
Yes.
Well, Bayonetta 1's not exclusive, but 2 and 3, those were the biggest surprise. Well, and then like E3 was a huge surprise too, where we got Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon announced for Switch. Like, this is going to be the game. This is going to be the Pokemon. I jump back in. This is going to be it. It's going to be it.
So
as long as I can pick Charmander at number 1.
Boo!
Shut up. You're the only person that picked Bulbasaur.
Yeah. I do pick Bulbasaur. I'm grass type.
No, you're fired. Go away.
Grass type.
You're fired. Go away.
It did not be back. Then you'll be like, I'm fired. And then see you in the chat.
Do the show by myself.
No,
Just
you
kidding.
wouldn't.
I can't do this by myself.
Um, for me, top five surprises. The Mummy Demastered. Just came out of nowhere. People thought it was a joke. It's a real thing.
It's still a
Um,
joke that the game is better than the movie.
pretty much.
Oh man,
Pretty much.
dude, that game is
Um,
on sale right now. And when I get paid, I'm getting it. It is $13 on the eShop, and
oh, I do. I snagged that up last week.
like,
That's why I was just like, yeah, now.
I need a Metroid
Um,
fix, and that game's gonna be it.
Mega Man 11, number 4, is my biggest surprise.
I don't know how I
Uh,
feel about that yet. I don't know about this art style. I'm not 100% sold. Like, I watched the trailer. It looks like Mega Man. It looks cool, and I'll probably get it. But
it was just the surprise was just that a new Mega Man was coming.
yeah.
I think that's just a surprise.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that the Legacy collections are coming to Switch and Mega Man.
Yes.
Oh, so excited.
Number 3, Lost Sphere coming to Switch and the other console. It's good to see that Square Enix is really going to be putting a lot of great games on it. Number 2, definitely Graceful Explosion Machine. That's so fun, and I would have added Sonic Mania for a lot of people, but I don't own it. But that's such a good game, also. And I just let's see, my number 1, Project Octopath. That demo. If you have not played that demo, download it now and play both campaigns. That game is so good. That demo was so good, and it surprised me on how it's traditional with bravely default game mechanic put into it. That I'm still like, yeah, I'm probably going to spend 60 plus hours in this game. Like, it's worth every penny. Second honorable mention about big surprises: the Secret of Mana collection. That is only in Japan and it's not here for America. Let me find how to import that game. But yeah, those are my big surprises.
Nice. All right, we're moving into our last two categories here. Well, not last two, but like two major categories, and then we'll talk about the extra ones that Ed has. He messaged me a bunch of categories today. I'm like, I don't know, I don't have a list for those, but it's okay. We'll talk about it anyway. Best indie game from 5 to 1. And yes, I realize one of these is technically an expansion, but get over it. 5, Snake Pass. Awesome kind of game that kind of reminds me a little bit of Captain Toad. A little bit, just based on like you can't jump, but it's a platformer and you have to figure out ways to get to these areas without jumping, and it's cool. It's a cool little game. Blaster Master Zero.
Yes,
That game was really cool. Really cool throwback to the original. Plus, it did a lot of cool things like once you got out of the vehicle, and it was really cool. Mighty Gun Volt Burst. Big surprise. And if you're into Mega Man, like this game totally has this Mega Man vibe, but like it's almost like what an evolution of the Mega Man formula would be like, where like you're kind of exploring this semi-linear level, but you can explore it a little bit. You can customize your loadouts, you can customize your blaster. This is probably the game that Mighty Number 9 should have been, because it features Beck and Call from Mighty Number 9, which I've been playing as Beck through the game the whole time, and it's just awesome. It's awesome. There's so much customization. There's controller customization. There's blaster customization. You can fire 5 bursts that don't do a lot of damage, but you can get your bursts off faster. You can shoot one giant bomb across the state. Oh my gosh. It's awesome. You should check it out. It's probably one of the better Mega Man likes out there, and you can even get it. It's on 3DS also, so you should definitely check out Mighty Gun Volt Burst. Graceful Explosion Machine is another one. That game was awesome. Kind of like this. You're like this spaceship, and you're shooting these like you're just trying to destroy all these enemies and get through the stage without dying, and it gets really challenging. And my number one indie game, Shovel Knight: Spectre of Torment, the expansion for Shovel Knight that came out. Also, it's $10 by itself, or the whole package is $24.99. Spectre of Torment is the best campaign to date. The movement, the way you play through the levels, the character designs, the story, even like it's the best campaign to date. And I love Shovel Knight so much.
Yes.
I mean, like, look, Shovel Knight was great, but this is like Shovel Knight was an amazing game when it came out, and this campaign feels like the evolution of what the Shovel Knight formula could be. And like, I really hope whatever they do next, whether it's like Super Shovel Knight or Shovel Knight 64 or whatever, they take the basis of movement from Spectre of Torment. I want to be able to surf on my shovel. I want to be able to use my shovel to hang on to things like a grappling hook. Like, I want to do those things. And oh my gosh, dude, this campaign is so good. And I know maybe people put Shovel Knight down for a while, but this is the definitive campaign for Shovel Knight. And the story is great, and the powers are great. You should just play it.
Yes.
Sorry, I like to ramble when I get excited.
No problem with that. So.
And the Santa hat's really itchy.
Oh, trust me.
It's
when it gets hot, you just like, let me take this off.
No, dude, it's like really itching, especially like this part of my head right here, because there's a seam right here, and the seam is really, really like spiky and itchy, and I'm just like, but sorry.
So my indies, number 5, The Mummy Demastered. It's that good old Metroid and Contra feel that I'm loving. Rhyme is number 4. Even though it just came out for Switch, I think a lot of people around this time have probably played it and beaten it. If not, the music in Rhyme defines that game. I think it's one of the best indie soundtracks that I heard in a long time, and it's probably the best one for 2017. A personal moment for me with Rhyme is when your character is like kind of almost on the last level, and it's just black and it's raining, and there's a piano accompaniment to it. I won't get no further than that. You have to play the game. Or if you want to feel like watching on YouTube and spoiling it for yourself, you can. But do listen to that music, that accompaniment from that piece of the game. It's just spectacular. It really defines that game. Number 3, even though people might feel like this is a cop-out, Fast Racing Neo. I just have a blast every time I play this game.
Yeah, that game is fun. I forgot that game. Gosh, man, I'm still this year.
Yeah, it's a fun, just fantastic, and you get into it. I don't care if I win or lose. Every time I play that game, I'm focused, I'm having fun, and I just be like, you know what, one more round, maybe I could get to first place. Like, I really enjoyed that game. Number 2 is Thumper. Larry Giver from World 1-1, he let me play it, and I was playing that game for almost 2.5 hours trying to perfect things. The music, the gameplay, learning it just so good. But last but not least, Grace for Explosion Machine. Old school shoot 'em up vibes for me. I was racking up points. Just like, oh, this game is so addictive. Like, something that you think you only play for 15 minutes, you actually realize an hour has just gone by. Like, it's like it keeps you playing more and more. The levels get a little bit challenging further on, but changing up your strategy, moving weapons around. Like you got to pay attention and everything. Just a fantastic game. One of the best indie games, and just an honorable mention for indies. Golf Story. I would recommend people to try out.
Yeah, I do want to point out there are like there's four major indie games I haven't played yet, and I want to get to them. And next week I'll probably talk about a couple of them. I haven't played The Mummy Demastered. I haven't played SteamWorld Dig 2.
Me neither.
I haven't played Ukulele yet. And then
You too.
what was the other one? It's on sale here. Oh, Golf Story was the other one I haven't played yet. So like
Yeah.
I get that like those games are probably really good and probably really deserving to be on this list. I just haven't played them yet. So I probably will have something to say next episode.
Yeah, I'll probably be picking up Golf Story this weekend.
Yeah. So, but anyways, our last major award is obviously Game of the Year. There have been so many games on the Switch this year that have just kind of blown me away and deserve either honorable mention, and not even just Switch, even 3DS and stuff. Like,
Yes.
there are games that deserve it, and I do give honorable mentions to games that I haven't finished or haven't played yet, just because I think just by word of mouth that those games deserve to be recognized. So I have three honorable mentions here. Metroid: Samus Returns for 3DS. The way everybody in the community has been talking about it, the people that haven't gotten a Switch yet but want that Metroid experience, like on all accounts, that game is a really, really great 2D Metroid game, and so I want to give that a shout out. Fire Emblem Echoes is another 3DS game that I've been trying to pour time into the last few days or so. It's different, but I think that difference makes it stand out a little bit from the past couple Fire Emblem games. There's dungeon crawling, there's there's treasure chests, there's other things that make the game different from Fates and Awakening, and so I think that game deserves a shout out. Mario Kart 8 gets an honorable mention just because it's a port and maybe shouldn't be on a Game of the Year discussion, but I think it's easily one of the best games for Switch. Easily,
Yes.
It's the best Mario Kart. I love Double Dash to death, but like the mechanics, the different types of carts, the characters, the level design is just some of the best ever in a racing game. And like if you own a Switch, if you own a Switch, this is a must buy guarantee.
Yeah.
And my last honorable mention, not on my personal Game of the Year list, but it was a fun ride. Super Mario Odyssey is a great 3D Mario game. I know it's on a lot of people's Game of the Year's list, but that's the last honorable mention for me. But going into my Game of the Year list, and this goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this covers indie games, AAA games, third-party games, everything. So, Snipper Clips, number 5. A surprising little puzzle game that is infuriatingly fun when you're playing with someone.
Fun. It's so funny.
Yeah, like you get so mad, but you can't help at laughing when you mess up. And like sometimes, like when Sana and I were first playing it, like I would like cut her up just to be funny, and she would get really mad. But then, like when we were so close to getting stuff, and it just didn't work out the way we needed it to, just these like and then when we finally beat a puzzle, it's like, oh my gosh, it felt so good, dude. That game, oh my gosh, Snipper Clips is amazing. I can't wait to get Snipper Clips Plus physical release, because there's more puzzles and everything. The more time I spend with this game, the more I think it deserves to be on this list. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 it's not Persona, it's not, old school Final Fantasy, but it does everything. It is a Japanese turn-based role-playing game. Well, sort of role. I don't really know how to describe the turn. It's turn-based, but you can move around the map. It's like Final Fantasy 12.
It's MMO-ish.
Yeah, the combat style, I told Ed, it's like Final Fantasy 12 meets Valkyrie Profile. And
Yeah.
like I know a lot of people didn't really play Valkyrie Profile, but the powers and the
I would love for that to
combos,
come to Switch.
the combos and stuff were mapped to your face buttons, and like that's kind of how the game works. You have powers and blades and stuff on your face buttons, and you just kind of move around the map and you attack when it's your turn. So like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a cliched Japanese role-playing game that does everything very well. The story, the character designs, I know, sorry about all the boobs in that game, but like that game, I think the character design in that game, a lot of the characters look great. It's awesome. If you own a Switch and you're looking for a big meaty experience, like the environments look great, the story so far is pretty good. Like everything is really great, and if you are looking for a JRPG to take with you, this is the game to get. Like it's really good.
Yes.
So number 3 for me, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Another must own for the Switch. I don't care if you're a strategy fan or not. I don't care if you like the Rabbids or not. This game does a lot of things that will garner your attention and deserve to at least be tried out. So if you have a friend that has it, you should try it. The graphics are great. The dumb things that happen, like in between battles, like the Goomba flying up through the toilet, the selfie Peach taking a Rabbid, like the Luigi Rabbid is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If you like Fire Emblem or XCOM, like it scratches that itch really well, and it's just awesome. And if Zelda didn't come out this year, that might be my game of the year, honestly, because that game is so good. Like Nintendo wise, it's just it's so good. Number 2, again, I get it. It's an expansion, but it's still really good. Shovel Knight: Spectre of Torment is the definitive campaign for Shovel Knight. And then, of course, my game of the year.
Don't save it.
Okay,
Save it. Because we probably both have number 1, so we're gonna save it.
We do have it number 1. But anyways, you go through yours.
Okay, so for my honorable mentions, number 5, Fire Emblem Warriors. Still loving that feeling of beating people up. The comedy in this game, the writing in this game is top quality, laugh out loud, amazing. Every time I get into the cutscenes in just a funny moment, and just some of the characters be like, we're just gonna skip my origin, but you guys already know it. Like speaking to the player while still speaking to the character, and it's just bonkers. But the game is so fun. Me and Corey got the collection. Beautiful collection for a game, just all around amazing. So that was my number 5.
That soundtrack is amazing too, because
yes.
it's like it's all the soundtracks, so like, or not all the soundtracks, but like most of the soundtracks to the previous games, and then there's a couple like remixes on there that are really good, and it's really good. It's really good.
Yes. Number 4, Monster Hunter Stories for 3DS. Great action RPG. Still love that trailer. Just an all-around great game for you 3DS owners. Hey Pikmin. Just such a charming game. You know, people have some problems with it, but I love the Pikmin series. I just think this game is so charming, just so fun, and very unique. And it just hypes me up for Pikmin 4 to be on Switch. After that, Wonder Boy and Monster World. Great artwork and animation. It looks beautiful, really fun to play. You guys would get a kick out of it. It gets difficult at the end of the game, but it is really, really fun. Very challenging. Good challenge. Last but not least, Snipper Clips. And the only reason why this is an honorable mention for me compared to Corey, I don't have no one to play it with, like a special someone to play with, because the game does require two people to play. But I am going to pick it up and I'm going to try it out with some of my family members and see if they can enjoy it. Kind of sell them on the Switch. But it is a must have game. Like Corey said, if you guys don't own it, it is something to pick up to play at a party or with friends and family. I'm waiting for that significant other to play it with. But my game of the year list from 5 to 1, or 5 to 2, because me and Corey probably both have number one. Number 5 is Arms. This game got laughed at when Nintendo did the unveil for Switch, and it was talking about the games that was coming for it in January, whenever they had that conference for it, and people didn't care for it. People played the demo, and it was a must-have game. Free content is coming up with its patches, like so many updates. It's almost every 2 weeks and stuff, and the expansion of characters have just the roster of it. Just it's so good, and I just think that this is a hit of IP. No pun intended. With Arms, like I said earlier, the music for this game, the title music, the credits and stuff, people are enjoying this. Such a fun fighter, and I cannot wait to see Evo Japan with the players playing this game for it. Moving on from that, number 4, Metroid: Samus Returns for 3DS. I think it's the best Metroid game that has came out in a while. For any handheld. Yeah, Samus Returns is like the only one. And of course, Federation Force had its problems. But this is a good thing for Mercury Steam to get them back on their feet after the fiasco with Castlevania. This game feels like an action adventure game, and I love it. I love the challenge. I love the exploration. The Metroids don't play in this game at all. But the game is super fun. Number 3 is Super Mario Odyssey for me. The music, the gameplay. Spoiler alert, you do take over Bowser in this game. At a point in time, won't tell you when you do it. But it was good to see. Truly enjoyed this game. All the levels are wonderfully made. Finding the moons, and buying the costumes and everything. So wonderful. And just, taking over taking over the dinosaur. I can't say it. A T-Rex, I should say. I can't, for some unknown reason, I can't say it. Him having Cappy on it, it just warms my heart. Really love that game. And the forest level music is the best music of 2017 that I have heard. I'm sorry. People could debate about Nier Automata, whatever. That forest level in Mario Odyssey is the best music level in this game. And also love New Dunk City trying to get the electricity on and fighting that boss. Spot on, so good. Number 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Of course, I love me some JRPGs. I'm loving the comedy. The grind in here is my thing. It helps me when I listen to new music, going through albums. It's so good. I play it a lot on my TV and on handheld mode, and just enjoying the adventure. But hopefully, me and Corey have the same number 1. So, boss, announce what may be our game of the year for Nintendo Pow Block.
I mean, it might be a game of my lifetime. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is Nintendo Pow Block's game of the year.
Yes.
For 2017.
Yes. There is no doubt.
I cannot even explain to you how this game made me feel playing it. Like, there's always, when I'm playing games a lot, and not necessarily the Nintendo games, but like other games, I play a lot of Destiny and a lot of, Tomb Raider I've played a lot of, and, there's a lot of games out there that I feel like are great and fun, but sometimes when I am playing games, it's like sometimes I feel like, man, is this just not fun, or am I growing out of this hobby, or is am I just like kind of in a gaming slump right now? Like, do I not just want to play games right now? There's a lot of games that make me feel that, like, well, not games that make me feel that way, but I feel that way a lot of times when I'm playing games.
Mm.
Uh, because, like, look, we're getting older. I don't have a lot of time to myself, with my wife and, eventually having a family and stuff like that. Like, the time I get to game is going to be getting shorter and shorter. And, like, I want my gaming time to count. And sometimes, you know, especially like last year, year before, like, I feel like my gaming time hasn't really counted for anything, and I thought, starting a podcast or several podcasts would reinvigorate my love for gaming, and it did for a while, and then you fall back into that routine where you're like playing the same games and playing with friends because they're playing the game and not really playing what you want to play, and sometimes the games you want to play don't turn out the way you want them to. But there's always a game like once or twice a year that pulls me in and says, "Look, this is the reason why you love video games. This is the reason why you've been playing games since your dad brought home an Atari and you sat on the floor cross-legged when you were 3 years old to play Kaboom and Combat and all those other Atari games and Donkey Kong and Pac-Man, even though those are the inferior versions of those games, but like, you know what I mean? Like, and then a game like Breath of the Wild comes out and you're like, this game reinforces why I love games so much. Nintendo, and it's always like, very seldom is it not a Nintendo game that does that for me.
Yes.
It's like, Mario 3D World was that game for me on Wii U. Pikmin 3 was another game on Wii U that did that. Twilight Princess was that game for me for a while. Like, but Breath of the Wild, like, as underwhelmed as I am with the DLC, like, that game, if I were to make a top 10 list right now, that game would probably be my favorite game of all time. Hands down. Like, just the experience I had with that game. Starting out, like, feeling super overwhelmed because, like, you can go anywhere and do anything right from the get-go, and it's like, well, you're supposed to go down to the right. They very clearly, what Zelda does so well, they spell out the path for you, like, you should go this way, but you can go this way, and sometimes you'll be rewarded for going the opposite way, like when you find the torch for the first time, or the fire sword for the first time in the cave to the left in the skull. Like, that game just opens so magically, and I could not put that game down. I have logged like 230 hours into that game, and I'm still like craving more. And two games did that for me this year. Like, really reinforced my love for games. Almost three, but two really did. Zelda and Horizon. And it's sad that those games came out back to back, but it's also great because after I played Zelda, I got to play another amazing game in Horizon. And like, this is why I try to make games a part of my lifestyle and not just a hobby, right? Is because, like, you get amazing games like Zelda. And finding all the story elements, watching the story unfold, probably one of the better stories a Zelda game's ever told. Like, learning about these champions who were charged in taking down Ganon and watching Zelda's struggle, trying to figure out, should I be a princess or a warrior, and trying to find the inner strength to move forward even when she couldn't. And like, Link not only being a protector, but them actually being partners in this. And, she's not a damsel in distress. Like, there's a few cutscenes where you see her like belligerently tell Link not to follow her or not to protect her for what she's about to do, and like watching her carry Link back to the Shrine of Resurrection and putting the sword back in the hilt. Like, this game does so many great things and so many amazing story moments. And then you have the shrines, which are some of the best designs Zelda's ever had. And then you have the four divine beasts and their champions and the new champions that guard them now. And like you see them interact and you see the cutscenes where like what happened here 100 years ago versus what's happening here now. Like those story moments were cool. And then the hunt for all 900 Korok seeds was super fun. And I just remember messaging you like, I only need two more, but I can't tell which ones I need on this interactive map. And like I would be walking and then like the last one I needed was one I thought I already had. And so like that made me mad. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed this one and I thought I already had it because it was so blatantly obvious to get that it just like, oh, but it's just that game. This game does wonders, and like even if you don't like open world games, which is something that like I don't really enjoy open world games. Like I enjoy the occasional one, but like you know, like Assassin's Creed right now, for example, I like that game a lot, but like I'm almost done with the game, and there's over half of the world I haven't explored and half of the side quests I haven't done. And it's like really overwhelming. Whereas like Zelda kind of leads you into these directions and it rewards you for exploring and it rewards you with quests or Korok seeds or weapons or shrine for just exploring an area. Everything in this giant world is placed there for a reason. And it's really amazing. You know, it just really captured everything I wanted in a game and more. And the art style is great, and having it on the go and on the TV is great. And you know, having it hyped with the new system didn't hurt it, but like I bought it on Wii U. I played it on both platforms. It's not like, you know, it's not like it had anything to do with the Switch. You know, I could have done that just as easily with the Wii U.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. And I'm not gonna lie, the last couple Zelda games, like new Zelda games, I was pretty disappointed in. Skyward Sword was a really big disappointment for me. Triforce Heroes was not a Zelda game that I wanted. Like the Link Between Worlds was great, but I never finished it because I wanted to play A Link to the Past again before I played it. And like I've been trying to debate back and forth whether or not I should go back and play that. But you know, and then we got the 4 remakes in a row, which was like, look, as much as I love Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, like I've played those games like 3 times already. It's like, and this game just changed everything that Zelda was and just threw it away, like scrapped it, and just was like, we need to do something different. And they succeeded on every level, like not with flying colors, not just like, oh, this was kind of a cool idea, so we left it in here. No, everything they did was for a purpose, and they changed everything with flying colors. And like the only
those delays paid off.
yeah, and like the only thing I probably would have changed about it were the Divine Beast. I wish they would have been more traditional Zelda dungeons. But like besides that, like that game is amazing. The way all of the systems in that game work together so cohesively and nothing is broken. Like the flame sword sets things on fire. The electric sword, don't go in the water with an electric sword because you'll get electrocuted. Like those types of things that work together. Like when you're climbing and it starts raining, you're like, crap, I hate this. I hate this so much. But then you just use like Rivali's Gale to climb up instead. It's like all these systems that work together just work so well, and things you didn't even know you could do, like a systems-based Zelda game, like the teeter-totter effect that you do with a door and a rock to launch yourself places. Like it just, everything works so well. And this game is, it's not just my game of the year. It's honestly, it's probably my favorite game of all time. And like, even though I put 130 hours into it, I want to play through the whole game again, like right now. Like I want to go explore. I want to do some of those shrines again. I want to just do all of it, you know?
Yeah.
So plus, if you have a Wolf Link amiibo, you get a pet through the whole game, and it makes me happy. So.
Okay.
I mean, I know I like repeated myself several times in that, but like this game does so many things that just grabbed me, and it was just, oh, Zelda's so amazing. And if you haven't played it, please try it out. Even if you don't like Nintendo, if you don't like Nintendo, I don't know why you're listening to the show, but like if you don't like Zelda, if you don't like open world games, if you don't like breakable weapons, if you don't like all these things, like
Corey,
try it.
Even if you guys even don't like Nintendo, if you guys are listening to the podcast just for conversation's sake, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us ramble about Nintendo all the time.
And sometimes other things. Breath of the Wild changed gaming, not just the culture, but the industry. And what I mean by that, if you look at a lot of reviews or just a lot of discussions personally about games, you would see what the stuff that they put into Breath of the Wild, how people wish it was implemented in that other game on other platforms. You cannot deny that. Some people might say, well, I don't see where it's the big deal for this and that. I'm like, this is a big deal. It's because it's a mechanic that's been in games that people don't think about. When climbing is getting talked about in multiple pieces in different video games, when's the last time you read a review or a blog or anything and heard how important climbing was in the game? That wasn't bad or anything.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild did that. It took open world and made it its own. Now, they consider that as open air. Cool. That's good. It makes you feel educated.
Yeah, it rewarded you. It rewarded you for figuring. Like, they knew how you're going to try to figure it out, but they rewarded you for figuring it out and like doing it your own way. Like the one shrine, for example, there's this one shrine where you have to connect a circuit. Like you have to use metal weapons or metal items to connect these circuits, right? Well, they place a bunch of metal boxes in the room and you have to figure out which ones go where. But you can also use weapons. You can also use metal-based weapons to connect the circuit and use the boxes to get to secret platforms to open chests. And, sometimes it's arrows, sometimes it's, something valuable like an emerald or a ruby or something like that,
Yes.
And so like it rewards you for doing things the right way and it rewards you for doing things a different way, which is amazing.
For just reward you for exploring, but I just lost the word. It starts with an E and I can't think of it. It does wonderful stuff like experimenting. That's what I was looking for. Sorry. Just by people experimenting in this game, you got rewarded, taking on bosses that that you are not powerful in, but becoming victorious, naming horses and, doing side quests, fighting a town just by walking, just seeing how beautiful from the background, from a faraway distance just looks like looking at all the dragons that's floating around. Like, yes, the world is still fantasy, but it still has some kind of real life connection to it. Cooking in the game, experimenting what you can eat and making rice balls or burning food, but getting health and just those little small details that you don't think about that was in this game. Dressing up as a woman, people falling in love with people love the male Shark King. Oh no, Prince. seeing the artwork from that people just fell in love with, just be like, I want him to be my boyfriend and all of this crazy stuff. You know, um, Hetsu, dancing and shaking in his, like shaking, just being funny and stuff. Like, it did so much, but one of the best things that Breath of the Wild has done for the industry was it created discussion and it created personal memories to share. You could see when Breath of the Wild came out, didn't nobody want anything spoiled. But when you talk with other people, they would tell you what their experience was. And you haven't encountered that experience. Even if you did encounter that same experience, you both did it a different way. Unexpected.
Yeah.
And when it was like, games don't do that, that you're able to just talk about a game in a positive manner and tell your personal stories. And I'm glad that Breath of the Wild did that. The delays that happened, that being the only big game last year at E3, taking home the reins of best game of E3. Like, getting our hands on it, being still available for Switch and for Wii U so that everybody could still play. Like, you still see people do crazy things on Twitter and on Facebook doing video capture of what they have, of what this game can do, and you don't even know it. Like, the game is huge, but the community made it huger by just finding stuff in the game and showing off what you are able to pull off if done right with great timing. People still are speed running this game, trying to get their time down.
Yeah.
Like, and you make the challenge. If you want the game to be easy, you work for it. If you want it to be difficult, go ahead and go fight Ganon with a stick or some sticks. Do it. That is the freedom that this game offers you. And there has been no other game this year, personally for me, that has done anything like that. Okay, Horizon Zero Dawn does that for PlayStation owners and other gamers too. But Horizon is its own game, separated from Breath of the Wild. They can coexist. They both could be perfect 10s. They both could win Game of the Year. If people feel like that Horizon is a better game, that's good because Horizon deserves everything that Horizon has done. But Breath of the Wild has done what it needed to do that people didn't expect. And hopefully with this next Zelda, it could achieve it again and take it to another level.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that this game did come out earlier this year, that it finally came out. And it just got a lot of people having great discussions, that it brought a community together. And like Corey said, whether you like it or not, I'm agree with you, Corey, that this is probably my game of the lifetime. Like, yeah. I don't think there's gonna be anything that could top it, as long as I live, I should say.
Yeah. Like, look, I know I would love to see them keep this engine and make maybe one or two more games before they really try to iterate again. Like, I think even Anuma said in an interview, like, he has ideas to use this engine again, and whether it's DLC or a new game, he doesn't know yet, but they want to get away from starting from scratch every game, right?
Yes.
Because it's taking too long, it costs too much money, and the engines they build are beautiful, obviously Skyward Sword's engine couldn't be carried forward because it wasn't an HD engine, it wasn't, it wasn't the GameCube engine either. It was just this totally new engine, and the engine they built for Breath of the Wild would work so well in so many different you could use that engine and change the color palette and it would feel like a new experience, right? Or you could make a new world out of this engine and it would feel like a new experience. Gorilla, for example, Gorilla's not going to make a new engine for Horizon 2, right? They're going to use this engine that they have already to pump out a game faster, right? That's what most games do. And like, as much as I respect Nintendo for trying to change up the formula all the time with Zelda, like, we don't get like it's been 6 years since we got our last Zelda game, like console Zelda game, and like that sucks. I want a new Zelda experience
Yes.
like every 2 or 3 years, and maybe Nintendo's headed towards that, and I really hope they are. I wouldn't mind seeing like another game like A Link Between Worlds on Switch, because I think that would be awesome to see another top-down Zelda. But at the
Yes.
same time, my favorite Zeldas are the 3D Zeldas. Like Twilight Princess in particular was my favorite game for a long time. A long time. Not, I mean, I recognize it has flaws and everything, but just like when I played it and what it meant to me when I played it and how it helped me through certain situations and stuff, like that game means a lot to me. And I don't like waiting so long, and it's been even longer for me because I didn't finish Skyward Sword because like I hated the motion controls. Not everybody hated them, but like for me that's not the Zelda experience I wanted. And so like between Twilight Princess and now, like it's been so long, and like I loved the Wind Waker remake on Wii U. I love the Twilight Princess remake on Wii U, but like, man, if they could just give me another Breath of the Wild experience in like 3 years, I would be so happy. I would be so happy, and there's a lot to hold me over until then. We've got, our expansion pass or our expansion pack coming up is, what are we looking forward to in 2018? But like, I would love just to have another Zelda experience like this, because it's very rare that a game captures me the way that this game did, and I would love to have an experience like that all the time. So,
Yeah. But I would just like them to grow.
yeah,
Like they could use it, but always keep that. A lot of people got to realize improvements to Zelda only makes the series better. For me personally. So,
yeah. Sorry,
congratulations.
I was taking a swig of water.
So, congratulations to Nintendo and Anuma and your team for making pretty much Game of the Year for Nintendo Pow Block, and pretty much me and Corey's Game of a Lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, like, I still have the Game Informer out of when they did the Breath of the Wild cover story, and I use it as my mouse pad for my computer, because like the cover art is cool, and like I wish I wouldn't have destroyed it, but I've read through this magazine like 3 or 4 times and it just totally destroyed. But like the art and everything this game just means a lot to me for several different reasons, and it's like, man, it's great. I love it so much. And you know, even if you don't own a Switch, like, and you own a Wii U and you just haven't had enough money to buy a Switch yet, or you're looking for something, like, dude, Breath of the Wild is, whew, it's a great game. So Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is our game of the year for Pow Block. It's on a lot of NGR Radio crew's game of the year list.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's been a fun ride. So I didn't think this episode was gonna go almost 2 hours. I was like planning on like a 45-minute episode, and like, but man, we got sidetracked so many times, and it's just.
I'm sorry, everybody.
No. Look, I like the long episodes, and I think a lot of people like the long episodes too. Like, it's great.
Corey, can I give my quick anticipated games?
Let's do our most anticipated games for what, 2018, I guess, or beyond, I guess.
Yes. So for ports, Bayonetta collection. From Nintendo themselves, it's Yoshi, their new game for Switch. For third party, it's Wolfenstein 2, and for indie, Dandara. Those are my 4 anticipated games for 2018.
Oh man, 2018. That's like 2 weeks from now. Man, this year's been long. My most anticipated game, I think, for 2018 from Nintendo would be the Fire Emblem game that they've announced.
Hmm.
That's probably my most anticipated Nintendo game. I'm really excited for the Bayonetta 1 and 2 port. I really don't know what else. Like, I mean, I'm excited for everything, but like, man, what indie games are coming soon? Like, I don't even know, man. I'm excited for everything. I can't help it. I really can't help it. I'm just excited for everything. So,
Well, you are hyped about that Shaq basketball
yeah,
game.
Shaq Fu. Woo! Still haven't
Yeah.
got my free code for that yet. Who knows if it's still coming? But sorry. But anyways, this has been the Nintendo Pow Block Game of the Year discussion episode. We're gonna have episodes going throughout the rest of the year, so don't worry about that. I do want to say please subscribe to our YouTube page because expansion pack is coming for Pow Block episodes, so subscribe there. Check out a lot of our other content that's coming soon. I'm really excited to get these Pow Block Pod and Plays going. A lot of the Arsenal X stuff going too. So go to the Nerds Gone Rogue YouTube page or our website at ngrradio.com. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Optional Opinion. Good Lord. Sorry about that. You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. Also, you guys check out the Nintendo Power Block Facebook page for my Switch code. I'll throw it back up there if you guys need it. You can check out my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, and check out Arsenal X, our NGR Xbox podcast, and World War One podcast. Check it out.
Yeah, those Game of the Year episodes are going up as well. So I posted the first one Monday as of this recording, and then the one that you and Jesse did went up first, and the one that you and I did is going up on Wednesday. So please check those out. You can find me at Corey HD on Twitter, Instagram, and check out NGR Radio on Twitch also, where in the next few episodes of shows, it's going to be quite an experiment to Twitch stream it. So check those out. And remember, rate us and subscribe on your favorite podcast service. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we love you.
Dun, 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 dun. Woohoo!